And welcome back to I See Fit. O, diba? Ayan, andito naman tayo ulit. Ayan, so, for all of you guys, this is Chill With Me, and we're going to talk about something that I kind of like, really, lately I've been watching a lot about this. So, kind of wanted to share this one to you because when it comes to this particular video and people that I'm going to talk about today, this is someone that I kind of like react on before because it's about Japan, which I live and which who I am. So right now he's in a very, very kind of like weird situation. And I kind of like a little bit, I didn't go into like full on research, but I kind of like a little glimpse, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you know these people, but it just really feels to me that this needs to talk about, especially, you know, like in this community, we kind of like have a lot of YouTubers in here. So, and also not being, it's not even like, even if you're a YouTuber or if you're not a YouTuber, you should really understand the power of choosing your words, especially when you're talking to a lot of people. And we're going to talk about the YouTubers' hypocrisy. And don't get me wrong, guys. Being hypocrite, we all are hypocrites. I'm pretty sure all of us has some hypocrisy in us. It's just, you know, like there are just people out there that are just obviously hypocrite, which comes down from being delusional and stuff like that. Or even the other one, which I kind of like wanted to talk about in maybe, you know, in few weeks from now, we're going to talk about the narcissistic personality disorder that a lot, at least in my observation, there's a lot of it. Ayan, and of course to Mystery Machine, Felipe, and Brett, thank you for staying tuned in. And of course to my admin, ayan, hindi ko pa inaantok. So, I kind of gathered videos of people that I kind of like watched. And there's actually one that I kind of like, I don't know if I should share with you, but I'm gonna share with you anyways. So a disclaimer on this video. This is just things that I've watched, and then I'm gonna share with you guys. Just wanted to know your opinions about this stuff because this is really, really interesting, and we really need to talk about this because there's a lot of us out there. I'm going to include myself, guys, that really sometimes we talk too much about our own experiences or things that, you know, like seems to be, you know, very, very, how do you call that? Very, very motivational for other people, especially on YouTube. Like even me, I'm in this, you know, I'm in the genre of trying to be better. So that's what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna choose our words because it's gonna be hard to talk about this topic. So I also wanted to tell you guys in the live chat, please do choose your words as well. You know, if you think that's kind of like a foul or words that are not or shouldn't be used, don't use it anyway. It will be, oh, Madam Imelda! Diba? Tamsak, I see you shout out. Ay, hindi busy si Madam Imelda. Konnichiwa. Konbanwa, Madam Imelda. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you guys. Ayan, Imelda Nakamura is also from the Land of the Rising Sun, a fellow YouTuber of ours as well. So please do check her out. She's very, very, very generous. She's doing a lot for Filipino community, which is very, very good. It's very, very, how do you call that? I hope I can do that, you know, help a lot. But I'm trying to help myself first, you know. Let's do that first. But Madam Imelda, saludo ko sa'yo ka. Saludo ako sa'yo, Madam. Ayan, ang galing mo. O, diba? So, anyways, we're gonna start that. I hope I can do this because I'm the only person doing everything all at once. So, I'm gonna try to figure out if I can do everything smoothly. And if you cannot watch this on live, I'll do upload this, I'll upload this, some of it later on. So if you're much more on the clips and uploads and stuff like that, please do watch my uploads. I do uploads weekly. So please do check them out as well and engage with me on the interaction or the comments down below. I do love interactions. I do love reading comments and stuff like that. Tagalog, egg, lahat na, kahit ano na guys, yan, sabihin natin. So first one, so this is about, this whole thing starts with a podcast. You know how it's very popular, sexy and maganda pa rin. BG lang ako, work mode. Wow! 10 o'clock na madam, alas 11 na, work mode ka pa rin. Otsukaresama deshita. Ayan. Mo soro-soro da ne. Ayan. Kyotsukete. Karada o daiji ni. Ayan. Eto na guys. Ayan. So this whole thing started with a podcast. You know those podcasts that has a lot of girls? You know what I'm talking about. It's very, very out there. I mean, it became like, it became kind of my reality TV show in a way. Hi, Imelda! I'll go. Thank you, Mystery Machine. Guys, please do. Ayan, say hi to Mystery Machine. Ayan, it's very, very new in our community, in our very, very small community. So, I don't know if you know these people, guys, but I've reacted on him before. His channel is called Modern Life Dating. And as far as I know, this guy seems to live in Japan for years. And there's this podcast. I'm going to show you a little bit of it so you can watch and interact with me. And let's see if it's just really weird and it's just stupid and it's dumb. I don't know what are you thinking when you say these things. It's just really weird. So we're going to try to, do this accordingly. Let's try if we can do justice with this one, guys, okay? And help me out, guys. So, how do you do this? Let's try to do this, you guys. Ayan. So, this is actually from him. Because when all of this happens, obviously, a lot of commentary channels, a lot of, if you know, Penguinzo, Abba, and Preach, and all of those commentary channels that are very, very popular right now. Much love, everyone, and hi, Ayan. So basically, this is kind of like how it all started. So this is from whatever.com, you know, those podcasts. Oh, I saw this. See? It's a very out there. It's so weird that I'm in this whole thing, I just react on one and then I just wanted to react on this because, as I've said, they're in my bubble right now, so it kind of like, I wouldn't say triggered because triggered is such a, but it's just really, just watch it, guys. I hope you can hear it as well.
Going in the relationship.
Keep going. You can't divorce. I mean, that's not a real thing. You can separate. See, his Catholic background shines through. He knows. You can separate, but you can't actually divorce.
You gotta endure. People are too.
Beating your wife is a good reason for a divorce. Like you can say, okay, well, I stuck through it and we figured out, and maybe you have. But expecting other people who are getting their ass beat to stay in a marriage where they're getting beaten up is crazy. Endure. People quit too easily nowadays. What?
So this is the endure thing. Because there's a podcast that I showed you earlier. So they were asking questions about, like, if you are in a relationship and you were abused, what should you do? Obviously. And this is the whole thing started because there's these two questions in the podcast. One is, if you are in a relationship and you're being abused, and in the podcast, I kind of like go, not just watch the kind of like the react, I kind of like watch the kind of like, because I want to know, because sometimes, when you edit stuff, sometimes there are contexts that are not there. So as just not to get or be biased about it. So I kind of like look into it, and the question was that. And this video that I'm going to show you right now, this is his answer, modern life dating answer to everything, from Penguinzo, from Abba and Preach, and for all the people that actually pitch on this, because this is a very important topic, guys. Don't get me wrong. This is really, really important, because if you are, whether you're a man, you're a woman, if you're in a relationship where there's any abuse, depending on the abuse, of course, but if it's something physical, it's no brainer. It's just really no. It's like a lot of us has been in a relationship where it's really, really toxic, where it becomes so physical as well. And when it comes to physical, I don't think there is any justification of it, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. And the thing with this, when they're talking about it, and the hypocrisy is going to come out. So you have to stay tuned after this. So I hope I can lean on, like, maybe sometimes I talk too much. So I don't know if we have a time, but I hope we can do that. But that's the thing. You just don't. If you're in a relationship and you are being physically abused, it's no brainer. You have to get out. Once is too much, actually, There's no justification. And the thing is, a lot of guys would tell, and even in this, they actually, like, if you watch the podcast and the surrounding, their opinions about this, they would always go to like, well, women do it too. We're not talking about who do it. If you are, like physically abusing someone, it's not good. You have to get out. It's just that there's no other way. You cannot really think that the person would change. Maybe there are rare cases, and if you're one of those, please let me know in the comments down below. But I don't believe it, because I've never seen, at least in my lifetime, that it does really happen, that they've changed. But usually when you abused someone once, it's so easy to abuse them twice, 3 times, 4 times. And probably a lot of people that are in this type of relationship will tell it, to the point that sometimes it becomes so normal that these people doesn't know what is the norm and what is the not normal. So that's where this whole thing comes from, because the question, and then the Mr. Endure, that's what they call him now, Mr. Endure. So let's watch more again.
That's your response to somebody who's being physically beaten by their partner?
He is saying that, if it's an abusive relationship, you have to endure. This is the problem with snowflake society now. Everyone's such a p***, so they'll ruin a marriage because they think they're so special. You absolute troglodyte. It's not about being special. It's about not getting beat the up in a marriage.
But I think that this guy...
And this is the thing, guys. You have to understand. That's why if you're a podcaster, if you're talking in front of people, and it's not just even one, it's not even if you're a podcaster, if you're talking or giving advice to people, just even one person, your friend, your coworker or whatever, some stranger, make sure to choose your words when you advise people, because sometimes there are people who actually would follow your advice. And that's not good, And the thing is, they go on and on in this conversation where they would have, they would justify their answers. And this is why I call it hypocrisy in a way. Because it's like, like if you say something, and this is the thing about YouTubers that I feel very, very kind of is like a lot of commentary like me. I react on videos and I comment and I, say my piece, how to do things in your life. But at the same time, you have to understand, you have to know the difference whether those things that are happening to other people will be applicable to you. It doesn't mean that it's like in the fitness industry. You know, you see a lot of influencers. Some of them doesn't even have like qualifications. But at the same time, you follow them because you want to be them. You know, that's another thing. But at the same time, you have to understand that some people, you know, we came from different backgrounds. We came from, and that's the thing with them. On that podcast, there's Christian and they talk about the Bible and stuff like that. There's so many just to kind of like, but there's no justification. Ay, buti tumawa ako. Ano daw? Bakit ka tumawa? Ba't tumawa ako? Ano daw? Hindi ko nga rin alam sa'yo. But, mali na pindot ko. Nakasanayan mo lang yun, Matt. Pero, ang pinag-uusapan kasi natin ngayon, Matt, ikaw ba sa mga Tagalog dyan? Meron kasing umiikot ngayon sa YouTube, guys. May mga katanungan na kapag ba ikaw ay nasa isang relasyon na ikaw ay nabubugbog, anong gagawin mo? At may sumagot na tiisin mo. Diba? May sagot na ganon. So, and this is where this gets interesting because this is his kind of like answer to all of this, to all of the comments, to all of the, you know, like, mahal ko ba? Ay, oo naman, nasa relasyon nga, diba? Ikaw naman, Mato. Kaloka ka naman eh. Of course. Ayan. So, let's try this one.
Guy has no idea what I'm doing. Because if we were just objectively lay out what our brands are doing side by side, I irrefutably know that every single day I'm working hard with my members in my community to make these men better people. I'm getting these guys jobs. These people are losing weight. They're finding girlfriends. They're finding wives. Okay. These guys are struggling with like traumatized issues that happened in their past that we're helping them get over. I know my conscience is clear. This guy can sit here and pretend to be some moral authority and manipulate the public opinion of me by saying like, oh, this guy, because I guess what they're trying to say is like, if a man is continuously beating a woman in a relationship.
So this is the thing that I have a problem with this one. Because this story kind of changed. So I kind of like wanted, because I've listened to it over and over, and there's a lot of like, you know, comments that are surrounding about this. But that's the thing. You know, it's not about the continuous. It's a question, and there's a lot of this. And this is the thing that I'm really, really strongly, like, have a strong opinion. When it comes to something like commenting, or having your opinion on something, you have to understand, you have to think about it, you know. And sometimes in YouTube, and I get it, some people say it for clout, some people say it for views because it's what's being talked about and stuff like that. But you have to understand, people are listening to you. You know, there are people that are actually, and that's the same thing with him. He's telling, and that's the thing, he has this issue and he's trying to tell you and try to remind you of what he is doing because he's supposed to be helping men out. But the thing is, I don't think so. But we'll figure it out on the end of this video because there's more stuff that I want to kind of show to you guys. But this is kind of like downplaying everything that he says, which is what I really am not really proud of a lot of people. You know, like, there's no accountability. If you say it, you say it. If you fucked up, you fucked up. You know, there's really no justification. There's no way to kind of like, you know, downplay what your opinion or comment about a thing. You know, if you say it, sometimes we do mistakes, own it up, and just it. But if you're gonna downplay, which is the thing about this guy, is like, now he's saying like once. He even like say once. So, you know, just try to remember that, guys.
Physical abuse, yeah.
Right. So they're trying to say that I'm saying that if a man is continuously beating a woman in a relationship, that he and
she
her should stay and endure the thing. That's not what I said at all. What I'm trying to say is that
See, that's the thing. You can tell people that's not what you said. And that's the thing about being a YouTuber, and not just being a YouTuber, just being a person. If you're in a relationship, you have to understand that talking is talking, but trying to send a message is something else. You have to choose your words. And that's the thing with me. Like every time I come up with you in the live stream, I cannot really just kind of like, people always tell you have to be authentic, you have to be raw and stuff like that. You have to say what's in your head. But at the same time, if you do that, if we all do that, then it's going to be chaos. You have to understand there's a lot of words. You know, there's a lot of words to be used. So you have to choose your words when you're trying to talk about something very, very serious. And that's the thing that I'm trying to better at myself as a live streamer, is I want to choose my words as much as I can, because I want you to understand how important a conversation is. And at the same time, from time to time, I'll put humor in it. So it's not that super kind of like deep or omoi in Japanese, which means heavy. It's not that heavy. But at the same time, you have to understand that not everything should be kind of like this. I just don't understand, why would you say that? And now you're kind of like downplaying it into something that's supposedly, there's the word continuously, and I don't think that's the question that was asked on the podcast. So we'll see.
I think a lot of times, especially now in today's culture, where we're incentivized to divorce, women more so than men, and women
see,
are,
and this is the thing that I hate about this more, like, you know, like this male guru and alpha guru on the internet. They always love blaming men. And I know what you're saying. You're gonna blame women as well. And it's going to be like that, back and forth. Oh, women do this, men do this. How about just kind of like, don't point fingers. This is the thing that I'm just really, really kind of like frustrated sometimes when you're having a discussion with someone, when you're having a good conversation with someone, then it turns out to be pointing fingers. Well, you do that. And I know I do that too, you know, and that's why I'm saying hypocrisy is out there. But at the same time, it's just so frustrating sometimes. It just really is. I don't know how you guys, because I know you guys watch a lot of YouTube. I really do hope you really choose which one to follow and really understand the magnitude of the influences that a lot of influencers are putting on you. You have to really think about yourself. Like, you have to understand these people are talking these things based on their experience. And some of them actually would go into like some sort of statistics. And one of the things that I really hate about people when they're having discussion or conversation is when they take out the statistics without telling me where it come from, what's the background, how the study is. Do you even know how to read statistics? They're just throwing it just to look and sound smart. And that's the thing with me. And that's why I hate when I'm having a conversation, I'm having a deep discussion, and then you're gonna throw, well, 70% of this, where did you get that? You know? So Matt Lumawag says, for me, I don't care if I love him so much, but if she or he, pwede ka sa she o pwede ka sa he, ganun yun, always hurting me, I wanna leave him. Exactly. Why would you stay? And the thing is, they always tell, and another thing that they did on the podcast that really pisses me off is when it happens, the question is, so how about if the girl cheats or one of them cheats? And it's almost like a super easy, instant, yeah, you have to, you don't have to endure something like that. So, you know, the hypocrisy of these things. And the thing is, it's really, really normal for women and men to point fingers and always kind of like, well, this is not my fault. That's their fault. There's a lot of people out there. They don't see their own problem. It's always easier to point fingers. Sa Tagalog, napakadaling manise. Nasa sa atin lahat yan, guys. Ang hilig-hilig nating manise kasi napakadali. Mas madali yung sisihin mo yung ibang tao sa nangyaring kapalpakan na kesa tanggapin na saglit, baka ako muna yung nagkamali. It's very hard for a lot of people to see what they did wrong, themselves. Rather than, like really try to be aware or ask themselves first, what did I did wrong? It's so easy for a lot of people to just like, no, you did wrong. He did this. All women are bad. All men are bad. Both are doing the same thing. So stop with this pointing fingers. These people wouldn't be here. These guys that pretending to be alphas is not going to be here if no one actually watched them. And I'm guilty about it because I did watch it. But, because I think it's very interesting. Sometimes it's really shocking to me how many dumb and stupid people are out there. Just really is. Like simple questions, answer the question, but, well, I do that sometimes as well. Like sometimes if I don't understand the question, I do the storytelling, but yeah. Hypocrisy at its highest level. So I did say hypocrisy in a way because according to one of the people, hi, I see 100% true. Hello, and Waila me, Madam Waila me. Hello. Kumusta kayo, guys? Ayan, thank you sa pagdating. So, thank you. Ayan. Uwi na muna ako. Ayan. Bakit? Nasaan ka, Madam Wailami? Nasa galaan ka na naman. O, diba? Umuwi na at baka makurot ang singit. O, diba? But anyways, so as I've said earlier, this dude lives in Japan. And according to this video, and this is, I don't know yet, I tried to look for it even in Japanese site, just for maybe in a chance I could see something and show you guys. But just to kind of like show this, and I don't know how verified this is because I just saw this video today, that he did actually this. The same dude who supposedly tell you to endure the pain. This is what they kind of found out about him. Ay, ba't napunta kay Matt? Ay.
After the last video, I just got people sending me everything. What did you say?
I punched a Latina bitch in the face at Rakon. What's Rakon?
It's a club in Japan. He lives over there. He was talking shit to some guy. I guess people just linking the group chats. He was talking shit to some guy, and the guy said to him, well, at least I've never been arrested for glassing a bitch. And he's like, yo, why are you so sensitive? Are you going to leave next? So that's the MLD saying, like, why are you so sensitive? Why are you bringing that up? And the guy says, I'm not sensitive, just giving back some. And then MLD says, you act like that's the last bitch I'll smite on this planet.
So, you understand, guys? So that's why I said hypocrisy. So, you basically, the guy that you're trying to follow and listen to, actually punch a girl in Japan and was actually arrested. I don't know how much of this is true. I'm just sharing you what I watch. And that's why I said disclaimer. So don't, everyone has the benefit of the doubt. But that's what I kind of found out. And I love these two dudes. I'm a very, very Abba and Preach fan. Hopefully one day I could talk to them. I really, really want to get I want to pick their brain. Is that the phrase, guys? I want to pick their brain. I'm pretty sure I use that word again wrong, but I do a lot of English phrases wrong because I really do like to use English words. So I'm sorry for typing rude or disrespectful comments in the past. Aw, it's fine. The thing is, guys, okay, before we move on to this topic, the thing is, I do give a lot of, how do you call it? It's not empathy or sympathy. I don't know which one is it. But I do try to give understanding to people that I've just met. So for example, you can see that in the live stream. You know, like right now, you can come up here, guys, if you want to talk with me in here, if you want to react anything with me, you can always come up, especially if we're in the live call-in segments or we're in the chill with IC segments. You're welcome to come talk to me on screen, your cam on, set it up and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is what I'm saying. At first, if you're a YouTuber or if you're not a YouTuber and you come up in the stream and you kind of like become rude or anything, or you don't kind of like let other people talk, I do kind of like give chances on that because you don't know better. You're not a YouTuber, you're not a streamer, you know, stuff like that. At the same time in life, you know, sometimes there's always this saying, you know, like, how do you call that? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something like that. It's the same thing. I give people one chance. Sometimes two chances. I have to go. I see ya. Thank you, Mystery Machine. And I do appreciate you coming in the live stream this Saturday. I do appreciate that. I hope to kind of like chill with you next time as well. So have a nice day in you in there. Thank you, Mystery Machine. So, are you surprised with that, Ayan? So the thing is, I do that. But if you are abusive, and just because I did that, I usually tell you I don't like things. And if you did it again, if you're so used to people that are, you know, being pushed over, I'm not a pushover, guys. I'm not really am. So, hi, Icy. Hi, Hayden. How are you, kiddo? How you doing? Sorry. Okay, this is your... Yeah, okay. I don't know why, but whenever I see your name, I think of a solution. Me too. That's pretty much it. I actually have one t-shirt of IC, you know, the slushing I am. But please, guys, no, don't drink too much of that. It's not good for you, Hayden. I'm good. Oh, good job, Hayden. Ayan. So how you been doing? How's your week? How's your guys' weeks are? So basically, that's it. So 100% true. The thing is, you know, like back in the day, I've told you about this before. People, you are basically, when you say things, you explain it in a way. You try to, and you also tell us that sometimes you're having hard time expressing yourself. But when you're on screen, there's a different 100% true that we actually see. So I think that's the balance of that. You know, you're not really trying to, I feel like maybe you are part troll or, you know, like you're trying to steer things up. But at the same time, I feel like it's not really coming from a bad place. So I tried to understand you. And at the same time, when I'm trying to tell you you're being rude, you're being disrespectful, you stop it. You know how to stop, you know when to apologize and do not do it again. And that's the most important thing, is we do mistakes. But if you're doing the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, don't be surprised if there's no chances, if there's nothing, if some people would just leave you alone. It's your own fault, you know. Not everyone will be catered to your liking. It's not that. We are all not the same. That's just what I want to say. But anyway, so Philippa G, do you know these people? I don't know if you guys know these people, but yeah. So we're like 100% true. We're talking about these things. And of course, Hayden, I know you're kind of like an adult. You think like an adult. So yes. Have you watched One Piece before? I don't think so. I've never been like a One Piece person. Like I've never been in that bandwagon. I'm more on the Ghost. And the stuff you don't really see on TV. like that. But anyway, so going back to our topic earlier. So this dude, the dude that says to endure physical abuse or emotional abuse or whatever, just don't divorce, you know. And I get it. You know, some people would say if you're having problems in a relationship or if you're married, you know, you have to endure things. But there are lines you don't cross. And physical abuse is one of them. No matter what. And I'm not talking about just men. Women as well. You know, there's a lot of women out there that likes to, you know, lift a hand on their partner. And then they'll be surprised when their partner fights back. That's what happens. So don't do it. Just don't. It's not there's no any right for you to lift any finger on anybody unless they do it first, you know. Have you always been this patient? Actually, 100% true. I'm not really a patient person, personally, you know, because I feel like I'm not in the point of my life where, and I'm also not the person where if I don't have friends, I couldn't function. I'm pretty much a loner. I can be by myself. I can talk to myself. You know, it's stuff like that. I'll be perfectly fine by myself. But, and that's why I feel like, you know, I don't have patience, because if I feel like it's bullshit or if it's dumb, for me, in my opinion, if it's dumb, if it's bullshit, if it's something that, you know, it's just like that, I don't have patience. But ever since I became a YouTuber, I kind of opened myself that there's a lot of situations, a lot of perspective that are not the same as mine. And I love to think that I'm a person who isn't closed-minded. You know, I come from I've been in the Philippines, I've been in Japan. The traditions sometimes are different. And also, you know, like as I've told you guys, I've been with different communities of different races. So I kind of like seen things, done things, you know. And the thing is, it's always nice to know that if you had a mistake, you had the chance to do it once again, but in a better way. Hold on. That English seems so wrong. That English seems so very, 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 very wrong. Okay, let me see this. This is the thing that I told you about. Choose your words if you don't want to get canceled like this dude. That's his new post. He's gonna get canceled. Hi, Ate D Diaries, Miss D, how you doing? Bunchinita, how you doing? Kumusta? Ayan, nawala tuloy ako. Ganda-ganda, parang mermaid. I'm a mermaid. Is that how you do it? I don't know how to swim, guys. So, I don't know. I love it. Thank you guys for kind of like, you know, appreciating what I did for today. Sometimes it took a lot of time to do all of this sometimes. But I try. So anyway, so they found this. So going back, low tier God probably got canceled but doesn't care. Oh, that's probably, I don't know who's that. But we are actually talking about Hayden. We're actually talking about a certain individual that I kind of like reacted before. And we're talking about his comments that will probably gonna get him canceled. And this is one of the things that I feel like everyone is just really afraid to be canceled. So don't do stupid shit. And if you get canceled, well, that's what you get sometimes, you know. Mabuti naman po. Ayan. So don't traditional Japanese and Filipinos see you as arrogant for not following their culture strictly. I don't know. And honestly, I don't really give a shit. Because the thing is, this is one of the things that I feel, it's your life, guys. Really. Individually, we have our own life to kind of, how do you call that? Like, your life is your life. Traditions are traditions. It's going to be there no matter you are alive or you're dead. It will move on with generations that will follow it. But at the same time, this is just what I'm saying. For me, there are traditions in the Philippines that I don't think is going to keep me sane, is going to keep me happy. And that's the reason I don't follow them, because it's not for me. And the same thing as in Japan, it's not for me. It's the same thing as dating. If you are dating a person that you don't have any connections with, are you going to still date her? Or are you still going to go to that path where it's something, yo feed peeps, diba? Yo feed peeps, the natin nerd is in the house. I am. Guys, sometimes I'll probably talk a lot, randomly. But sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes my brain really works super fast and it's so hard sometimes to keep up with my own brain. Ayan. But yeah, I do felt that, especially when I was teenager and also a young adult. I felt very, very, I felt shame actually, sometimes, because there's this stereotype in Japan where Filipinos were seen, especially if you're a girl, were seen as kind of we do some shady stuff. Back in the day, we're pretty known. Filipinos are pretty known for that. So for me, sometimes growing up as a young adult, I felt kind of ashamed to be known as Filipina, and I tried. But at the same time, no. Because you cannot, and this is the thing with a lot of people, if one person does you wrong, you generalize the whole humanity. No. But the thing is, in certain situations, there's always going to be bad and good. You cannot generalize to everyone. And that's where my frustrations is coming from when I started to have a conversation with people, is because sometimes even me, when I was more younger, I always generalized people. When you've done wrong, everyone is bad, so I give up. Even now, I do have bad luck when it comes to friendship. And so I feel having friends in Japan in a certain specific race is not for me, because my attitude, my belief, how I think, we're not compatible. So for me, I just kind of even though I know there's going to be one out there that is going to be not the same as what I kind of experienced from, I kind of just give up on doing or finding that one, because there are other people that I could actually relate more into. I don't know why I'm saying this, guys, but I hope it makes sense to your brain. Anyway, comments. Girl, you haven't seen Loti God's comments? There is memes of him saying that we should, what? For real? Yeah, don't listen to those things, Hayden. And why are you watching those things, Hayden? And BRB, okay, Nazi Nerd. I know it's coffee time. Get me coffee as well while you're at it. So, 100% true ask. Why do you think of those who follow their culture? Not because they want to, but because they have nowhere to turn to for support. And that's another thing that I feel you're stuck. Is that what you're saying? Is that the word you're trying to find 100% true? And I don't know about other people, but I feel like there is always going to be a phase in our lives that you will feel stuck. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There are certain situations that you really just have to be strong to get out of your comfort zone, because if you don't, you're not gonna find that support. And if you're here in ICFit, I hope I can give that support, you know. Try to understand the situation, at least talking about it without being judged, you know, harshly. And if you feel like you're being judged in ICFit, don't be, you know, don't be. And this is where I'm gonna tell you guys, if you're in ICFit, you have to practice the thought of when you care about somebody, when you really think of someone as your friend, your family, your husband, anything that you care about, always practice that when they do stop, it comes from a good place. That's the start. Because once you get into a mindset of whatever a person is going to tell you or do or whatever, and you already think that it comes from a bad place, that's where a lot of chaos comes from. Okay, back. So with your questions, not necessarily, and that's pretty much it, because not everyone will have the advantage of, like, for me, I would say it's an advantage for me that I could break free. You know, that I could be me, because there are people, you know, around me that would actually is letting me be me. And not everyone has that privilege. And for other people, it will be harder for them to break out, or it will be harder for them to find themselves because they don't have that. And that is why sometimes it's so frustrating for me that the most famous and popular, like the one that we're talking about right now, that supposedly are helping a lot of you men out there to be better, to be, you know, to have a date, to have a family, to have a boyfriend, to have a girlfriend. But the thing is, you have to always think, what is this person doing? Okay, I'm getting... See, my family has the bad habit of doing something they think is good, but isn't, and then call me a bad person for pointing it out. Ooh, I know that. I know that, naughty nerd. I know that. I know that feeling. It's always like that, you know. Sometimes I feel this as well, because as you guys already, especially if you're not new in the live stream, you guys know, thank you, Brett, and you guys know that I could be very straightforward. I don't really give a shit if I would hurt your feelings or what, especially if you're my friend. Like, I'll tell it to you straight. And if you think that comes from a bad place, I always say that's your problem. Then you're not my friend. And the thing is, sometimes it also, like, when it comes to family, it comes from, you know, like being embarrassed because you put out something that hurts, you know. And once you are that kind of person that always likes to point things out, you're always going to be the villain, because a lot of people likes to kiss ass. You know, who is in front of them, you want to have a rapport. So you have to, like, you know, be nice to them, tell them nice things, tell them what they want to hear and stuff like that. That's the most kind of like normal social skills all of us are doing. But for me, I would be hurt if you say something very, very bad at me, or like if you criticize something, I would be hurt at first, of course. I do still have ego from time to time, but that would be just the initial. And then I'll think about it. What is really wrong, you know? So, they are using men's pain to profit and would saw anything that sounds good to our ears. Exactly. And there's not a lot of you guys out there that sees that. But I also understand why is this popular is because it's kind of like a reality TV show. Sometimes I feel like, with all, life makes us so busy about every day. Sometimes it's just so nice to be not think, Then you see reality TV show. But the thing is with these types of podcasts, usually when I watch them, I get triggered. Because it's so, I don't know. But lately, this is what I've been thinking lately. Since, like the red pill, those alpha, the guys that I'm talking about, the ones that are rising up, they're going down, which is kind of nice because it's being exposed now. And this one is kind of like another one that's being exposed. And the thing is, when he was doing his new kind of post that he's being canceled, it's kind of like I do have like different feelings with people that being canceled sometimes, because depends on the situation, depends on the cases, or we call it, I don't know if it's also an English term, but in Japan we call it case by case or something like that. Let's see. A lot of people have the mindset of because it's family, they have to keep them in your life. Actually, the Natty Nerd, I was actually like really thinking about this a lot because I feel like, being or coming from the background of Filipino family, we're very, very close family. Not like in Western countries where you kick your kids when they're 18 or something. In the Philippines, even in Japan now, it's like it's very normal that you live with your parents. That's one thing. I mean, it's not for me. I don't like it, but it's normal. It's very, very normal. See, it depends on if you're saying something to purely be a dick. Exactly. Versus me saying something that hurts, you're stupid. But it's pointing out something. Yeah. Right? So, I don't know. And this is the thing, that's why I feel like I'm not really good at making friends, is because I say what's in front of me. Like if my friend do something that I think is fucked up, I'll say it. Whether you like it or not, I don't really care. Because for me, you're my friend, I want you to be better. I'm not saying it to attack you. I'm saying this because this is what I see. But at the same time, I'm not telling you to change. The same thing with you guys watching Icy Fit every Saturday. I might say a lot of things based on my experience, my observation and stuff like that, my thought process, my mindset. But it doesn't mean you have to do it or what like that. It's not that. I don't really give a shit. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, that's your life. If I say something that you think is applicable to you, or my guest will say something that is applicable to you, and you think it will lead you to a better life, or for the happiness that you want with your life, do it. But there are people out there that are very angry, and these are the things that I'm sometimes frustrated with these kinds of podcasts and with this alpha male thing going on, is it has to be them. It has to be right, wrong. It has to be that thing. There's no just conversation. It's just nothing like two people or a group of or like a community that's just sharing their experiences and opinions and basically just trying to brainstorm things. It has to always be like, no, I'm right. You are wrong. It has to be always like that. Or like, no, it's the man's fault. Oh no, it's a woman's fault. Women do this more. Blah, 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 blah. And that's the reason why there's a lot of people that are single are not happy right now. Because that's what your thinking is. It's always like, who's wrong? No, they're wrong, not you. Okay, sorry guys. I'm getting super pumped. Anyway, let's go back to the chat. There's so much videos I want to share with you guys. I feel like we're not gonna get to it. But guys, I really love the interactions, you guys. So let's do this. Let's see. Ayan. And that they're doing that is hurting them. Yeah, exactly. And I see. What about the women? What are they suffering from? See, that's another one. How about, let's just talk about what are we suffering from? You have to understand, guys, we are individuals. We have different, we could be the same, in a sense. We could have common belief, we have common, but our emotions, our feelings, you cannot control that. We all are different. In a sense, maybe because I'm a personal trainer and I understand the whole magnification of we are all different. But I just want to tell you guys, lahat tayo iba-iba. Hindi porket parehas tayong mahirap or parehas tayong mayaman, kung ano yung gagawin ko sa buhay, pag ginawa mo, parehas tayong yayaman. Hindi. Naintindihan nyo, guys? In English, it's so hard to translate this one, you guys. But let's do this, ayan. Here's my thing. I'm all for freedom of speech across the board. But when it comes to actions of a person, then that's when I start having problems if their actions are bad or evil. Exactly. And you see these in a lot of YouTubers. And I hope to God I don't get too much involved in this weird toxicity of this world we live in. Or at least, how do you call this? These things. I want to be I want to feel aware. I want to feel exactly, well, not the same because I want to get better, but I want to be as much as I can, not being swayed with the toxicity, the attention you guys are giving me. Because let me tell you guys, attentions can be very powerful as well, that it could change a person as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of things, guys. And you've said a few things I disagree with, but overall I agree on most. Okay, I'll accept that. I want people to come together. Well, that's kind of weird. Yes, who doesn't want that, right? But that's kind of like the expectation I'm pretty much sure that a lot of good-hearted people out there wants to have, and that's why we are trying to build a community, because that's also what I want. Trying to, rather than attack each other or trying to criticize in a way where you're doing this wrong, it's all about just trying to figure out things. Life is very complicated. Life is very, it's so interesting, mysterious, it's just, sometimes you just don't know what's gonna happen next. So it's very, very helpful if you know exactly where to go to in case you feel the struggle, because sometimes talking about it feels good, and some people, even me, I don't like talking. Well, not talking, I don't like sharing, it's not part of my DNA. But because of this, and because I want to be better, I want to know stories about people that I wouldn't be in a situation in, or there's no chance of me understanding or comprehending the situation because it will never happen that I'll be in their shoe. So talking to these people, you guys that are different, coming from different backgrounds, I kind of understand or had a glance or glimpse of what is out there. So what was my point was? And these groups of content creators that make money of dividing people. Exactly. And that's the thing. And I actually remembered when you say something about, I was actually like, I know Felipe G. I think it's Felipe G that pointed me out with the Red Pill documentary. And the thing is, yeah, there is a meaning behind that. And that's the thing that a lot of movements out there that usually feels like to me are doing wrong is because rather than trying to figure out what the problem is, it becomes like pointing fingers, like who did wrong, who did stuff like that. It's just really, you cannot really solve any problem when you're trying to point fingers. You have to understand what is the root of the problem, and it could be you. So you have to understand you. And the only thing or the only way for you to understand who you really are is one, probably getting out of your comfort zone is one that I might say works for me. But I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if you have that, like that courage to do that. But second is also trying to be self-aware. And that's one of the things that I feel a lot of people doesn't have. You have to learn it. You have to relearn it because there are certain situations in your life that will make you not have self-awareness. People that surrounds you, people that probably kiss your ass all the time. So, those things. So why do you call it toxicity when it's the current debate that's been playing out in the main, what? I don't understand. You have to reword the question 100% true. I couldn't understand that question. True that I am. So, anyways, guys. So, as we were saying, so this guy, Modern Life Dating, punched a woman in Japan. That's what we're trying to talk to. Who says you have to endure abuse. And now downplaying because he's gonna get canceled. And that's the thing. You have to be aware that there's always going to be consequences on every action you do. And that's just life. And if it's something that you don't expect to be good, the consequences is not good. Now I'm gonna turn what he says. Now endure it. Ayan. You forgot to mention security or self-assurance. Ooh, self-assurance. Let's see. What is self-assurance? Define self-assurance. Okay, self-assurance.
Self-assurance.
Oh, that's it. Confidence in one's own abilities or character. Ooh, yes. Self-confidence. Is it self-confidence or self-assurance? So, self-assurance is similar to self-confidence. In the deepest part of you, you have faith in your strengths. You know that you are able to take risks, able to meet new challenges, able to take claims, and most important, able to deliver. But self-assurance is more than just self-confidence. Ooh, interesting. Ooh. Thank you. So, and yes, then the crazy people latched onto the red pill message and brought in their hate. And actually, Felipe G, I was actually wanting to upload that one because I kind of like a little bit, about Casey. And I really find it interesting. And the thing is, I'm pretty much sure that, there are certain, like conversations in our live stream that I'll probably says something like, well, men do it too, or women do it too, or something like that. That I'll probably point fingers as well from time to time. And if I do that, let me know. But anyways, guys, what I'm saying is, the red pill message, or at least the documentary about that, it's not about, and this is the thing when it comes to movements. Once the movement starts to point fingers, same as debate, same as discussions, then for me, it becomes all bullshit. And that's the thing with feminists. At first, I thought I was feminist because I want to be, like for the equality. But, as you grow older, as you kind of like be an adult and get all these responsibilities that you have to be with, then you kind of understand that there are just things that are not going to be fair in the world. And that's where the phrase life is unfair. And it is what it is. You'll just have to kind of like get the best out of all the scenarios you're gonna have in life. And that's where people become more strong, is when you kind of like, how do you call that? If you're struggling and then you get to move on or something. Yes, 100%. Ayan, self-assurance. Wala kang insecurity sa sarili. Ooh, ayun. And it means to be secure with who you are. And the opposite is insecurity. Yeah, so diba, guys? This is the thing, guys. Because there are things that sometimes you feel like you know it. It's like common sense. Common sense naman yun. But sometimes when people are starting to put, words and try to explain things, I might be saying the same thing, but 100% True might explain it better, or Wailami might explain it better. And this is why I'm talking about discussion. Because sometimes just even one person who says it, and if he or she doesn't have the qualification to say it, it wouldn't be, the message wouldn't come across because of this. Because sometimes human beings look, that's why I can't understand the red pill movement. I cannot understand the alpha movement. I want to know, those people, those guys that they're trying to be like, I'm a man or something like that, and trying to teach a lot of guys out there how to be a man. I think, I cannot say anything or advise you to how to be a man because I don't have a dick. But for me, in my opinion, you cannot really, how do you call that? You cannot really learn step by step of how to be a man, because I feel like a lot of guys would come from different backgrounds. They would have different struggles, and based on how they're gonna react on this kind of scenario in their lives, that's how they're going to know and learn how to be a man. And the thing is, you can look for role model, you can look for a mentor, but that's where your decision, your critical thinking is important, because you basically have to question everything. Is this good for me? Is this really okay? Not because one person says something really good that you feel that really apply to yourself. It doesn't mean everything is good. Like, I might say things just the same as me and Natty Nerd. I might say things that he strongly agrees with, but some he disagrees with, and it's fine. Because he might be coming from a different point of view and different background and different experience, different circle of people, and he probably wouldn't understand where I'm coming from. So those are the things that I want you to understand when it comes to life. You have to be smart in a way to know who are you going to follow, who are you going to listen, and stuff like that. And if you feel like there are people in your circle that are having a hard time differentiating what is good and bad, and you have something that you can share, do that. Because you don't know. You just don't know. Sometimes I would see a friend of mine or like a classmate of mine from way, way back, and they would tell stories that I said something that I probably said just for the moment, but it changed their life.
You know, those are the things. So you have to understand the impact of what you are saying to another person. And that's what I'm feeling, that every time I come here in the live stream, I have so much confidence in myself, but sometimes when I talk to you about things like this, I feel like I'm starting to like, hold on. Is that correct to say? Is that not correct to say? And I like that you guys pitch in to this discussion because you make me better, and I hope I do make you better in a way. So let's go back to the chat, guys. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I was too about right-wing stuff. And I used to be a liberal in high school and young adult. Ooh, that's the big word. You know, I've been in like the American kind of like, because, you know, I cannot really escape the American influence around the world, but I'm always having hard time about the meaning of liberal and what our liberal really means, because sometimes, like for example, the self-assurance or the self-confidence, right? Self-assurance kind of like it's given, the word self-assurance, but when you throw in self-confidence, then what is the difference kind of thing, you know? So that's why I love really digging deep into things sometimes, but not try to overplay it or make a big deal out of it when there is really nothing. So, but then turned right wing after 2020, and now I'm like, no, you're all insane. I'ma just stay in the middle and do my own thing, cause leave me alone. Yes, I think I was like that too. Like, I was so into politics back in the day because I feel like I have to be, because that's what you were taught in school. You have to be on update. You have to be, you know, like you have to kind of like give back to the society or something like that. But at the same time, but how about my life? What if I'm not happy listening to politics every day? What if it makes me, you know, insane? What if, and this is the thing that a lot of people feel like, they always complain about their life, that they're so miserable, but then they always kind of watch miserable shit. So I don't understand that. When I was a kid and knew everything, I was a liberal. Oh, diba? Then grew up and realized how little I actually did understand the world. Yes. It's so, and this is the thing, guys, that I feel like I feel sorry about a lot of people that feels like they knew everything. You know, when you're a teenager, when we're a teenager, we kind of feel like we know everything, you know, and when you turn adult, you started life, you become a young adult, you have family, you have kids and stuff like that, and you still feel like you're always right all the time. I feel sorry because like trying to learn stuff and trying to understand the things that are just not explainable, sometimes it's really interesting and it opens you to more knowledge. It opens to you to more people, to more, you know, self-searching. Or part of being a man is figuring out how to be a man by your own means. Ooh, well said. Yeah, a lot the same here. Yes. And I see, we can't deny that the manosphere influencers have very good points, even when they may be rooted in hatred for women. And that's the thing. And, you know, a lot of people have talked about this, and I have also talked about this before. And that's where I was saying, just because a person says something good and something really correct, that means everything you would say is correct. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You have to put these people on check. And that's why there are people that getting canceled. But the thing is the same thing with, you know, putting people or canceling people out, is it became abused. You know, the word abused. People are just so abusive sometimes, and I get it. We all have an abusive behavior. We're all human after all, you know. But there are just people that just really, really bluntly abusive. And that's the same thing with these things. It's like the manosphere. I don't know, because I don't like using the word manosphere because I feel like I don't really have the bigger, you know. But as far as I understand, as far as what I kind of like hear and watched and, you know, researched about, this is your issues, man issues. And some of it comes from hatred. Yes, it could be rooted in hatred. And that's what I'm saying. When you're trying to share and send message, if it comes from hate, how if a woman wants to change? You're already hating. So what's the purpose? You're just trying to find attention? You're just trying to find more people that are toxic out there and form a toxic group? Is that what you're saying? I'm not saying this is for manosphere. I'm just saying there are communities out there like this, just to be clear. So just Jensky Vlog, mega love, shout out girl. I do see you. Kumusta Jensky? Okay. Guys, gotta go. My dog is demanding my attention. Ayan, you bad doggy. Ayan, Icy wants attention too. No, joke. Good weekend, everyone. And later. Ayan. Okay, guys. So, have a good weekend from Felipe to you, Natty Nerd. So, have a good day, Natty Nerd. And of course, have a good day with your dog. Ayan, play with him. That's very, very cool. I want a dog someday. Ayan. And liberal, open sa new ideas, innovations, interchanges, opposite, conservative, socially traditional ideas. Liberal. O, diba? Kaya nga liberal, diba? Because the thing is, sometimes you see and hear people, they would say they're liberals. It's supposed to be open-minded. New ideas. But then you'll see them say, wait, you're supposed to be liberal, but you're stuck in some way. I'm not saying, guys. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm getting hungry, guys. And they abuse it because they are motivated by money, and some may believe that they are doing good by helping those they perceive are in need. Yes, exactly. So, I'm just saying, the Forger, mega love, shout out to Forger, how you doing? O, diba? The Forger 100% true is here, you brothers. O, diba? Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to say, guys. Well, I didn't get to share everything. There's so much things, guys. I don't know if I'm going to kind of like...
Obviously.
I don't know. But anyways, if you come up with this issue about this guy, please let me know if you get more ideas or more information about this, because these are just things that I've just seen on the internet that I kind of just wanted to share with you guys. And hopefully, you know, if you guys feel like, you know, if you don't know that you're in an abused relationship, or if you are being abused and you don't know what to do, there's usually things to do. You always have a choice. Now, as I've said, it's gonna be hard to get out, and some situations it's gonna be harder than other people, but I really do hope if you come up into the IC fit, I hope you find the help you need, and hopefully you get out of it, you know, stuff like that. Ayan. Guys, gutom na ako, guys. Ayan, the Forger, mega love, shout out. So, hindi natin natapos lahat. Pero kung mapapanood nyo yun, guys, grabe yung sobrang problema. Gustuin ko mang i-topic, italak sa inyo lahat ng mga nakita ko. Alam nyo naman, minsan, ang hilig-hilig ko magsalita, naubos yung oras natin. Minsan, ganun pala ako kadaldal, di ba? Natapos na yung isang oras, hindi ko pa natatapos yung isang video. So, ganun talaga. So hopefully, even though it's like this, I hope you kind of like understand a little of things that I feel and found. And I see it sounds like you're feeding off of another YouTubers. Would you like that happening to you when you're going through a rough time in your life? No, I mean, as I've said, because you weren't here in the first, I assumed 100% true. As I've said early on before I started the stream, I'm only going to talk about this because I did react on him. You know, I think it's just kind of like, I don't know. In a way, I just wanted to talk about it because I did react on him in one of my videos about Japanese, you know, women versus men. And now he's in this. So I just really feel that I do have strong opinions about abuse. I don't like an abusive person. We just talked about this last week, you know, and I really feel if this person thinks like this, and in the podcast, there's a bunch of men that says endure, we have a problem. We really do. We're not moving forward. We're going backwards, you know, and it's not a good thing. So I'm not trying to feed off on another YouTuber's downfall. You're reading this wrong. I'm trying to talk about this because this is a thing right now. And it's not that I'm not, you know, not associated, but I didn't know this guy because I talked about him in one of my videos. So I just wanted to tell you that I've talked about this. I agree on him on whatever video was that. But at the same time, this is the type of person he is. He also says these things. So for me, I also wanted to share to you guys that you have to understand what you are trying to apply to yourselves. You know, if you're watching YouTube, if you're listening to this type of people, like the same as me, as commenting, reacting, giving opinions and such, you have to understand not everything that we say you should do. And not everything you shouldn't cross-reference. Cross-reference everything I say, you know, if you have time. If you don't have time, just listen. You know, believe me. But when he said endure, under what context did he say it? Isn't it he being deliberately misunderstood? That's what he's implying. But that's why, you know, I'm telling you guys, you know, in the conversation and after the conversation, he tries to justify it and put the words continuously when I'm pretty sure it wasn't implied in the conversation. And that's why you have to sometimes listen. And I think that's one of the things that I'm applying to myself as well, is if I don't understand what you're asking me about, explain it to me again where I can understand it. Because sometimes we might come from a different wavelength brain. So I might understand your question in a different way, which seems to me that's what he is implying to after effect of what he did or what did he say. But because he's in the heat, then he's trying to tell this. And one of the people actually had a good point about this. It's like, there's one person called Destiny. I'm pretty sure you know him. He's very big as well. Like, rather than, you know, like try to tell that you misunderstand the question, that probably would be understandable. He answered back saying like, if it happened once, you should endure. You know, something like that, which is not being talked about in the moment. So that's where the problem lies. And that's why I'm telling you guys, if you are speaking like this, if you cannot understand what I'm saying, if I'm saying something wrong that you feel like it's off, I see, tell me, because I might be saying it in a different way. I'm probably not saying it in the words that you might understand where I'm coming from. So ask questions, you know, try to understand things in a different point of view. If you cannot understand it, ask questions. Carmina Diocton, mega love shot at ganda. Kumusta ganda? Ayan, thank you naman. Thumbs up at the IC. Hi, admin. Hello, you guys. Ayan. So, those are the things. And of course, it's always going to be that, especially when it's something like this, it become a big deal. Then it would go down to maybe he was misunderstood, maybe he misunderstood and stuff like that. But he gave his reaction, he gave his answer to all the comments or to all the hate, to all the bash that he has. But, figuring out if it's true that he punched a girl in Japan and got arrested from it. See what I mean? So that's just kind of like what I'm trying to share as well. And I'm pretty sure those people that react and put this out, like Abe and Preach put this out in there, is because you're trying to educate you guys. Because obviously this guy is very popular, I don't think they're canceling him. And I'm pretty sure some of the other people do, but some other people doesn't. You have to check people from time to time. And even me, if I'm doing something wrong, I want to be checked as well. Because sometimes we can be living in our own delusion world, in our own bubble that we don't see what others see. You might be doing wrong and you probably don't realize it. So it's very important that you have a very, very good people surrounding you to tell you when you're being in the wrong track. So I don't know, if you're a YouTuber, do that, try to point, try to make or surround yourself with people that would tell you and not abuse you, which is very, very hard to find. But if you have that one, treasure those people because you're gonna need that for your sanity, especially if you're a very, very popular YouTuber because, fame, money, power, it could really change a person. So, be careful out there. Be careful you guys. Ayan, sa atin nga dito sa YouTube lang, 'di ba? Dito nga lang sa YouTube ng Filipino, 'di ba? Filipino community. Yung iba nga minsan mag-uusap-usapan na tayo minsan na Diyos ko, naka 10,000 lang nag-iba na yung ugali. Yung mga ganung bagay. So, napaka-importante na kailangan mo talagang maging aware sa sarili mo, which is going to be very hard. And that's why it's very important that you surround yourself with people that would tell you if you're doing something wrong. And of course, always try to learn how to have a mindset of when people say something or criticize you in a way, try to change your mindset that maybe it coming from a good place. Then, rather than attack each other, do that instead. Give someone the benefit of the doubt, which the same thing with Mr. Endure. I guess that's what's his name now. Mr. Endure is being known for at this moment. So hopefully, I'm not telling like I'm feeding off of this. I'm just really, it's just really dumbfounding. Like it's really stupid to do that. And I feel like you guys, YouTubers that are friends of mine as well, be very, very careful of the things you're going to say on camera. And even if you make mistake, be accountable for it and just change your ways and show that, if you really meant to change your old ways and if you really meant it, people would see it. So just, I don't know. Do you? Okay? Just be good. Anyways, guys, and dami natin pinag-usapan, guys. Hindi natin natapos. So, hopefully, may natutunan kayo, guys. Hopefully, you understand some things. I know, guys, but this is it for me. I hope I'll see you again next Saturday. And if you have any topics or any stories that you want to share with us in this live stream, please let me know. Please connect with my social media, and if you want to know more about this, I can put the links in the description box down below. Watch it for yourself, make your own, opinions about it. Make your own analyzation if you're one of those people who likes to analyze. Just like me, I love analyzing things. It's kind of like what makes my day very, very nice sometimes, is because I analyze things in my own head. And with you guys, I'm really happy that you do kind of like interact with me. I get to know more. I get to learn more. I get to think more, And thank you, Carmina Diocton. Wilemy, admin ko. Ayan. Thank you. Sa mga pumunta, The Forger, 100% true. Thank you. Thank you for interacting, That's good questions today. I do like that questions. 100% true. So, I'll be expecting you guys again next Saturday. And guys, every week I do upload. So please do watch my uploads. I'll appreciate it if you do. And please let me know anything. If you want me to react on any videos that you think is very, very... Why very, very interesting for all of you guys. Send them on my social media. But this is it for me, and I'll see you again next time. And again, guys, today is actually Fitness Journey. Ayan, please do congratulate Matt Lumawag. If you didn't watch it yet, please do watch our live stream earlier and watch it. Very, very funny. You'll probably love it. And if you don't watch the whole live stream, wait for my upload. Subscribe, like, share this live stream. Dahil sa channel na ito, guys, lagi-lagi naman talaga. Hindi lang ikaw, hindi lang ako, kayo. All of you guys are the stars in this show. But don't be abusive. Don't abuse people. And of course, be always respectful whether we agree or disagree with each other, because that's what we're supposed to do in IC Fit live stream. Otskare sama deshita. I love you everyone, and thank you so much for all the love and support. O diba? Etches, ganon. Basta mahal na mahal ko kayong guys lahat. Thank you for keeping me company every week. Ciao! Oyasumi, bye-bye, otsukare sama deshita. Dahil sa channel na ito, kayo ang bida. Bye-bye, guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Ciao, ciao.
Wow! Congratulations! Wow! Congratulations!